We've got millions of new, good-paying jobs, and the cost of insulin is capped at $35 for seniors. There's more to do, but it's clear that on the economy, Black America is getting ahead with President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris.
I'm Joe Biden, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Biden for President.
Is it true love or just a fantasy? Madame Butterfly, Puccini's tragic tale of love and betrayal, comes to the Academy of Music April 26th through May 5th. Experience the achingly beautiful score and heartbreaking story in a new production from Opera Philadelphia. Don't miss Madame Butterfly, April 26th through May 5th. Tickets start at $25. Visit operaphila.org to purchase.
What is dedication?
My daughter started making necklaces. She makes what we call affirmation fashion. I tell her every day that your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. And if there's anything better than being beautiful, it's being smart. If there's anything better than being smart, it's being kind. And reaffirming that every day is our method of making sure her chin never drops. My dad wasn't around, and I remember riding a bike and falling off and cutting myself, and me never just wanting to get back on it. People ask, how your children learn how to ride a bike, and you didn't. I didn't teach them. I just created an environment where they taught themselves, and all I had to do was be there.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Stand with Word Radio as we continue to provide dynamic, progressive programming to inform and empower our people. We're living in unprecedented times, and we must stand together to protect and preserve Black Talk Media. Become a 4Word member with the annual membership price of just $90 or a digital member starting at just $5 per month. If you're already a 4Word member, sign up, family member, or a friend to help us continue making history. Start or renew your 4Word membership today. Visit wordradio.com/4word or wordradio.com/membership.
We are the home of progressive Black Talk Media. This is WURD 900 AM and 96.1 FM, Philadelphia. Streaming online on wordradio.com and the Word Radio app.
The views and opinions expressed by the guests, listeners, and hosts of any program on Word Radio do not necessarily reflect those of the ownership, management, or advertisers of this station.
I'm simply saying that life finds a way.
All right, people, write something on the board. Let's spell it. First letter.
L O G.
What's that? What?
It's time. It's time to have real, honest, open, difficult, and inspiring conversations. It's time for Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hey there, family. Hello and welcome. Welcome to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. Happy Tuesday to you. Happy Tuesday, April 9th, that is. I hope your week is getting off to a great start. You know I do. You know I do. How are you making out? How are you making out? I want you to let me know. I was sharing with you all yesterday that I was slightly off center. I don't know. I think like I was telling you, the earthquake, Mercury retrograde, and then the eclipse, I think it all had a hold on me all at one time. So I was just all off center yesterday. I'm getting there. Not 100% yet, but I'm getting there. But I'm grateful for the journey. So how about that? How about that? Family, if you are joining us by way of socials, let us know. Check in, roll call. You know what we do here. Just let us know that you are hanging out with us. You can even give us a call if you want to do that, just to share some love. We love the love anyway you care to share it. You can do that by dialing 215-634 8065. You can even call us toll free by dialing 1-866-361-0900. That's right. So while we give you some time to check in and do all of that good stuff, I will share with you today's Black History 365 moment. Today's Black History 365 moment is about Nat Turner. In 1831, freedom fighter Nat Turner saw a solar eclipse, which he believed was a sign from God. And he started what is considered the most deadly slave revolt, the Nat Turner Rebellion, historically known as the Southampton Insurrection, which sparked the events leading to civil war. Family, that's today's Black History 365 moment. Sending a happy birthday shout to all of our love lights that are celebrating a birthday. I hope you are being celebrated in a grand way. I truly do. And I am sending extra love and hugs to you if your light is shining even the least bit dimly. Do you hear me? Even the least bit. All right. Just because you need to know that your entire tribe and village right here has got your back. We are right here. You are not alone. Don't you ever believe that. You are not alone. I see that some family members are checking in. Malcolm shares that he's checking in. He is watching and listening from West Mount Airy. It's so good to have you join us, Malcolm. Eric saying, hey there. He shares that he hopes that everyone is doing well on this terrific Tuesday. All right, for terrific Tuesday. All right. And Smitty, Mr. and Mrs. Smitty are joining us. You all have a blessed night as well. And hey there, Shirley Bryant. Shirley's joining us from Florida. Hey there, beautiful. One of our love lights. Before we move further, we have one of our family members checking in on the phone. Hi there. Thank you for calling and welcome to the conversation.
Hello, Cal.
Ron, hi.
Yes, I am doing fine. And loving life. I want to share this, what took place on Saturday at Tedley Temple Church. And around we went in there, of course, they had their political thing there with WRD. I'm always getting in there early and stuff, and people was talking. And they was talking about this Loving Life program. And they were saying that, they asked me, was Cal and anybody was going to be, I said, I don't know. So anyhow, the program got on and whatever. And these elderly ladies, we stepped outside and we started singing songs of glory to God outside there on Broad Street in front of Tedley Temple. Mm-hmm. The mother started singing the old hymns, me and her and some other people started singing. People came out and they was with their phones and wanted their children to be in that awe that we created about that about loving life. And Carol, let me say this to the people of Loving Life. Last Thursday, when that elder called in, and she got on with Cal, the representative of Loving Life, and the support team from Nick and Mr. White, and she said to Cal, she was talking about her journey, and she said, I had mother with, and she was telling her story of whatever was going on in her life. Do you realize the significance of that for her to call it? She must have heard. And when Cal, that other elder, she does it with everyone. That other elder called in, Cal picked it up, and Cal said to her, yes, ma'am. Now, that made me put something together and think about these people listening, the sensitivity That cows ring, and she let these persons talk. That probably was a cure for her to know that love and life is here at 7:00. It really touched me, and I get touched many others, I hope. And this is what's so significant about this program, and all y'all callers, wherever you are, and call in you comment on the particular, not giving any medical things like that. But we got this singing out there. And then people were saying, my Carol, her sensitivity as the representative on that microphone, not rushing the people, realizing picking up the bills and not there, take a little time to get their thought together. But Malcolm, if y'all listen at these people when they talk, once Carol allowed them to talk without interrupting them, do you notice how smooth their words are? This is so significant. So let it be written way, 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 way for love and life. That y'all guys, each one of us in this hour, this album, these 2 hours here, that you have played a very big part in someone's life. And I just thank the Almighty God. Thank Him. And that Mosey mother, she was saying that Carol had healing power because of her temperament. And I know she wanted other people to call in, but she allowed these people that may not be where you're at to express themselves. And that's why I picked it up a couple of years ago when I was listening to her sensitivity. And I hate to repeat certain things. And this is why I think so much of this person and people like her that don't cross the line knowing that other persons that may not be on her education level like she's on. She never explored that. Last night you took that man. No, something, but I'm listening. And Carol, your whole spirit last night was in a different place. Thank you. And may the Lord bless everybody here at Love and Life, and bless you, Carol, with your health and spirit. This is my hope. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. God bless you always, Ron. And thank you so much for your positivity and for your vulnerability and for your transparency. We appreciate you. Family, let's get started. I invited some individuals to come and speak with us tonight because I'm just so impressed with the impact that the organization has. I don't want to take any more of their time than I have to do. What I'm going to do is introduce to you one of the individuals from SCORE. Her name is Mary Livingston. She is the chair of Volunteer Engagement Committee, chair of the Volunteer Engagement Committee. I think didn't I tell you? I can't get myself together. Heavens to Murgatroyd. As the chair of the Volunteer Engagement Committee for SCORE Philadelphia, Ms. Mary is dedicated to helping small businesses receive the support and resources they need to launch or sustain a viable business. Family, I welcome you to the conversation with SCORE representatives this evening. I'm so excited to have this conversation. So excited. Well, hello, everybody. Hello. I'm just going to unmute everybody at the same time so we can all have a conversation because there's just so much to discuss and so little time in this 1 hour. Now, I was introducing Miss Mary Livingston, that is. But Miss Mary, since I have a few individuals on the screen, if you wouldn't mind sharing with us just a little about what you do. And there's Fatima. Fatima popped into the building. What? She's a mess. Fatima, you are a mess. I need to say hi to Adrian. What's up, girl? Oh my goodness. But family, if you will, for those of you who are listening and not watching, what you're hearing is my shenanigans. So I introduced Miss Mary Livingston, but she's brought with her John Schuler, Fatima Fisher, Zarina Lomax, and Andrea. Now, Andrea, did I say that correctly? Is it Andrea or Andrea? It's Andrea?
Andrea's fine, yes.
Okay. All right. I told y'all, listen, I got to get it right. So if you wouldn't mind, Miss Mary, please talk with us about SCORE, what it is exactly that you do at SCORE.
Sure. Well, thank you, number one, for allowing SCORE to come in and talk to everyone about the services that we do offer to small businesses, not only here in Philadelphia, but also around the country. We are a 501c3 national organization with over 300 chapters throughout the United States. And you know what? We're all volunteers. And we provide both mentoring and education to aspiring people who are thinking about starting a business and want to know, how do I get started? What are the steps that I need to take, as well as already established small businesses. Nationally, around 30,000 small businesses started with the help of SCORE volunteers. And I just want to share a few stats because I think these stats are just incredible. Last year, our volunteer mentors spent 4.5 million hours providing guidance to entrepreneurs. And in Philadelphia, just last year, we helped 344 new businesses get started. This is where Fatima comes in as a SCORE volunteer and introducing her to businesses. And I love how Andrea didn't even share her last name. She is branding her business, A. Abrams, with close to 1,200 total jobs have actually been created as a result of that. 64% are women-owned businesses, 9% vets. And we really volunteer our time tirelessly, as all of us do, to help mentor nation's entrepreneurs. And I'm so excited to introduce to you John Schuler, who is a chapter chair. He is co-chapter chair of our organization here in Philadelphia.
Somewhere. You see, you kicked me off.
As well as Fatima Fisher, who will pop in and out periodically. There she is, waving her hand. And I'm going to have Fatima introduce two of our SCORE mentors who started off as wanting to know first steps and now have really launched a very successful business. So Fatima.
Okay, well, from A
from
to
A to
Z,
Z,
since I got both of them here, Andrea is with A's Aprons. I think she came to me for some
Wait,
marketing advice.
Fatima, I'm going to
A
interrupt
couple
you for
years
one
ago.
moment. Wait. Fatima, I'm going to interrupt you for one moment because it sounds like I'm getting an echo on our end. And I think it's because you may be too close in proximity with.
And she's not getting any sound. Okay, wait, how about now?
Okay, there's no echo now. Okay. Did we lose you? Wait, Fatima, are y'all having a party over there? Nobody invited the rest of us. What is happening?
Well,
I think that's what's happening.
Interviews, so I have. I bribed Zarina over here with some pizza. Lorenzo's.
My absolute favorite. Family.
Right?
Oh my goodness. For those of you who have just joined us, welcome. You are tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD. In this hour tonight, we are talking with representatives of SCORE and some entrepreneurs who have started their businesses as a result of working with SCORE. So in this moment, we've just heard from Mary Livingston, who is the chair of the Volunteer Engagement Committee. And now we're talking with Fatima Fisher. Is that correct? Who is a mentor at SCORE.
God, it went out as soon as.
There we are. We've got you. And we do not. You know what? It seems like we are having some technical difficulties with Fatima. On her, we're having some technical difficulties with Fatima. Fatima, are you all right over there?
Now.
There you are.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, both Adrian and Zarina came to SCORE for various needs for their business.
Okay, and we are, you know what? We are having. I don't know where you are. The reception isn't too good, so we're not hearing you too well. Is there someone else who can explain? Zarina, do you have sound yet? Okay, well, how about Andrea? Andrea, how are you making out?
I think I'm okay.
Okay, well,
Did
Andrea,
I come through clear?
you are clear. We can hear you well. So will you help
Very
us?
good.
Thank you.
Very good. Yes.
If you wouldn't mind explaining your relationship with SCORE.
I came to SCORE when I first started my business. I'm just coming on 4 years to get guidance and understanding on how to run the business in full. I've had several little businesses, but to really run this business professionally, I needed some help. And SCORE was one of the avenues that I was able to go and get resources to learn the business, take classes online, sit in, meet people, ask questions, get answers. It has been a great help.
It sounds like it's been a tremendous help. Family, what we're going to do right now, we're going to take just a short commercial break so we can try to, rebuke the devil. But when we come back,
okay,
we're going to finish this conversation and share some more information. Stay with us. Know that the phone lines are still open and feel free to continue to comment on our socials. We will be right back. Okay.
EcoFest is back. Save the date for the 2024 EcoFest Earth Day celebration, Creating Black Green Futures, Saturday, April 20th from 1 p.m. until 5 p.m. at the historic Belmont Mansion in beautiful Fairmount Park. This festival-style celebration will feature panel conversations with leading environmentalists, music, workshops, vendors, and much more. Stay tuned to WURD for more exciting details. Remember, Saturday, April 20th at the historic Belmont Mansion. This year's EcoFest Earth Day celebration is brought to you by Keystone First, the Pennsylvania Lottery, Comcast, and Pico.
There are reasons cannabis is illegal in New Jersey for those under 21. If you're a parent, you should know them. Early cannabis use can inhibit brain development, impair learning, and increase the risk of later substance abuse and mental health issues. Talk to your kids about cannabis. Set clear boundaries. Most of all, be a role model. Be cannabis smart to stay cannabis safe. Learn more at cannabissafe.nj.gov.
I need more time to file my taxes. Help.
On irs.gov, you can use IRS Free File to get 6 more months. Or you can submit IRS Form 4868 by the April deadline. If you owe taxes, you can make an electronic payment and get a filing extension with no need to submit Form 4868. Go to irs.gov for details. But remember, an extension of time to file is not an extension of time to pay what you owe.
Tune in for holistic health information provided by Dr. Paul every weekend on WURD. Check out the Holistic Hour Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. and the Green Hour Sunday afternoons at 3 p.m. only on WURD. Progressive Black Talk Media.
It's too black, which means it's too strong.
We're celebrating Black influence and Black excellence worldwide on the home of progressive Black Talk Media, WURD.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD. In this hour, we are talking with representatives, mentors, and those who have benefited from SCORE. I'd ask them to come and talk with us because I feel like everything that they're doing has been and is so impactful. I wanted them to share with us how SCORE impacts the people who run their own businesses. So before the commercial break, Andrea was sharing with us that she went to work with SCORE, and they've assisted her in such a great way. And one of our family members, excuse me, our beloved Diane Fassett, hi there, love light. She shares, good evening, listeners and guests. Miss Andrea, is this the aprons that started at Washington Avenue and Grays Ferry? I might have the wrong address, but the food was banging. Is this the same?
In Grace Ferry? I don't think so.
She says she may have the wrong address, but she
Did she have ginger juice?
Oh, now that sounds amazing.
Now,
See,
if she had ginger juice, she was in the right location.
you hear that? You hear that, Love Light? She said if you had
Yeah.
ginger juice, you were definitely in the right location. Nasir Butler
Yeah.
is checking in as well. Hi there, brother Nasir. Welcome to the conversation. So I was sharing with you all earlier that Mary Livingston is SCORE's chair of volunteer engagement committee. And we heard from Fatima earlier. Now, Fatima Fisher is a mentor at SCORE. And I said, yes, Fatima pops in and out. She pops in and out. And we had Zarina a moment ago. Zarina was with us when we were having some technical issues with both with the audio. So we're still trying to work things out. So I'm going to ask for your patience because everybody said, there she is. There's Zarina. There she is.
I was here for a while. I don't know
There
what's
she is.
going on.
Yeah. There's a lot going on. I told you the devil is trying to be all in the
We had to
details
go to
tonight.
separate floors.
Well, this is wonderful. So Fatima, if you wouldn't mind helping us out, you started explaining earlier about how you all have been impactful and helpful. Would you mind sharing with us?
Well, I don't know. I kind of tune into where the person is at their business when I talk to them, because mentoring is about helping people where they are. And a lot of people dove in the ocean with COVID. I mean, it was like, okay, I'm going to do this. So like things like balancing their finances, marketing, SEO optimization, all of that went out the window in pursuit of a dream, which is like where we want to be because it is the foundation of our country. So it's like it's a scattered bit of what I enjoy about mentoring is like you just like jump in double dutch. You jump in where you can and you help where you can. And you get to see the impact of it over the long term. Okay. Like the best impact that I've seen so far is Zarina. When Zarina came to me, she was like, I want to do something. I want to do something and I want to get back into promoting my business. And I was like, well, you got to make a big splash. So her big splash turned out to be having an exhibit at City Hall.
Oh, wow.
And then next thing you know, she's back on the map. She's now working with the president's daughter. I like to say that. She's working with the president's daughter. I'm so proud of her. But anyway, I'm going to let her talk because I usually don't do any talking. So I'm going to go ahead and be back in the background where I like to be and introduce Zarina. Go ahead, Z. The floor is yours.
Hi, Zarina. Zarina Lomax, that is.
Hello.
Hey, Z. Welcome to the conversation. Doing well, thank you. So you went to what was it that made SCORE of interest to you? What made you say, I'm going to go talk to SCORE? Like what?
Well, I mean, I'll just kind of give you the background of my business. So I started my business in 2018. I was only in TV and radio at the time, so I've been on TV and radio for a long time. I started that because as a young lady growing up, I was molested as a young age. My dad went to prison for murder when I was 17 as well. So I had experienced a lot of trauma before I was 18. When I was 28, I changed my life, found God, and really just wanted to help people to get to the other side of their trauma. So that's when I started my talk show at Philly Cam in like 2015, 2016. During that time of being there, what happened was I lost a loved one to gun violence named Dominique Oglesby. Dom was murdered March 18, 2018. And I started bringing family members, and still to this day on my show, to share of overcoming like losing their kids and their loved ones to gun violence. So in the midst of that, I was doing everything and I was bringing them on, and they would kind of shut me down because not everybody, but some people just felt like it was like really a vulnerable space to share. So I started the epilogues. That's the epilogues in which she's referring to. And this is pre-COVID, of course. And we were doing well. I just wanted to start as a give back, like take fashion, music, and art, all the stuff that was super artistic about Philly, and use it as a way to highlight the people we had lost to different forms of trauma, gun violence, opioid abuse, stuff like that. And did really well. It sold out. Did it again in 2019, and we scaled up from 15 families to 70. And then that's when COVID hit. So I had moved to
Okay.
LA, came back, and then that's when I in regards I had talked to Miss Fatima. Now I actually met Miss Fatima previous to this, but I did not know she was a mentor. Somebody else told me about SCORE. And
Okay.
when I found out she was a mentor for here, it was perfect. No, I'm telling you how like God is very intentional, because we met, but it wasn't to do with that. When we met and I found out, somebody else told me about SCORE, and then I'm like, I need help, and she was giving me pointers. And I'm like, wait, you're on SCORE? This is what somebody just told me about. So that's how I started
Wow.
really tapping in, because I'm like, if this lady is already kind of telling me to go for it, I'm gonna go for it. And that's how I really signed up for SCORE, because she was actually kind of giving me free game, and was helping me. But really, it was at the time when I wasn't sure if I was going to do this again. So in the time that I started again, I wanted to make sure that I didn't just have like a give back, but we were actually doing something intentional. So that's how the art therapy came about. We're about to open an art center. We've scaled from one city to five, well, actually 6 cities in the last year and a half. But it did come from her saying like press forward, and I did. And I just didn't know it was going to go that fast. So I did the exhibition at City Hall, and it was basically focused on really putting a face to my grief, because Dominique is not my daughter. I'm very close with her mom.
Okay.
And Dom was like a little sister to me. And I still work in a space like that's what it's for. Like this is to pretty much humanize the emotions through portraits, murals, interpretation pieces. We still do the TV and radio. So like I still do all of that. But I wanted to really hone in on my own grief. And then that's when I did the exhibition at City Hall. And that was called We Are Here. And it was for the uncles, the cousins, the aunts, the uncles, everybody who had lost a loved one, all co-victims of gun violence. And that's why I think it was so impactful and so big the way it was, because it wasn't just the parents, and it's nothing to not against the parents, but when we lose people, it's a whole plethora of people that are affected. So we did
Absolutely.
that, and yeah, that was it. So I mean, she was really helping me to put it together. Like I said, it transformed into an art therapy program, which now we've been able to partner with Cheney, Drexel, JJC. I'm trying to think all the places, the YMC. Like it's so many different people. I have a lot of politicians that support my work. We just came back from Miami a couple weeks ago, so I do work out in Miami a lot. Just did something with Trayvon Martin Foundation.
It sounds amazing. Everything that you're sharing, quite honestly, it's so much. It's so much to digest. It sounds amazing. And as Z just shared, it took off so quickly. I think
Oh yeah,
that
that's what good advice does. It flies.
yes, yeah. How about that? How
That's
about
what good
that?
advice does.
How about
I
that? But
will
you know,
say,
so I'm listening to so we listened to Z before she froze, and we listened to Andrea, and they both shared about two different types of businesses. So is there criteria, or is there
can you see
um
me?
anything? We can see you, now. We can hear you again too, because
Okay.
you were frozen for a minute. So is it so
Okay.
I'm asking this question of Miss Mary, John, or Fatima. Is there particular criteria or a specific type of business that you have to be in order to benefit from SCORE services and resources?
I'll take this one, Carol.
Okay.
We really have our mission is to be available to everybody. So there, I think as long as it's something to do with a business, or it could be a nonprofit, but an organization that somebody's trying to build and grow, we are happy to talk to them. And I can maybe just give a couple specifics about if somebody is in that situation, the situation that Andrea and Zarina were in a few years ago, and is interested to connect with SCORE and connect with a mentor. The best way is to go on our website, which is score.org. And on the website, there's a tab that you'll see pretty easily. It says request a mentor, and then complete a form and describe a little bit about what your business is or your organization is. And then we have people that take those forms, and then they assign mentors to those people. And I also mentor on fairly often. And what I see as my goal is to connect those people to all the resources in SCORE. So if I'm not the person that can help that person, then I help them find somebody else, introduce them, and get them to the next step. So it's available to everybody, I guess, to answer your first question.
Well, that's awesome. That is. So how long is the process, like after applying, and how long is the process?
It's pretty quick. We now try to get somebody assigned within a week or two. Usually probably assigned in a week, and then depending on the mentor schedule, as Mary pointed out, our mentors are all volunteers, so they're busy doing other things a lot of times. So somebody might have to wait a week or two to get a space on the calendar, but I would say generally, for sure, within a month, but usually within 2 to 3 weeks, somebody will have an appointment.
Oh, wow. So Zarina and Andrea, I'm going to ask you both this question individually. So what would you say has been the absolute best thing or about working with SCORE for you?
I would say for me, the best thing with working with SCORE is I don't have to guess. I can actually go to my mentor and ask her anything. And like she said, if she doesn't know, someone else can help me.
I appreciate that. Zay?
I would say for me, the best thing that it has been for me is pretty similar to that, where when I first started this wasn't anything I intended to be a business. This just grew into God's business. So not really having that background and being able to be connected to someone who basically helped me to shape it from a give back to an organization, and it looks like an organization and position it to be an organization. We were very much donation based primarily in the beginning. Now we're starting to, we get grants and stuff now, and because we have a lot more support in this position in a different way. So I definitely think that it transformed it in what it needed to be. It was just more of a lot of ideas. It was doing well because it was just a give back, but this is not a give back any longer. This is absolutely a business. So being able to connect with somebody to watch it grow from that into what it was destined to be has been the best thing for me, because I really didn't have a background in that.
But I'm still buying pizza. I'm still buying.
Well, listen. Well, I'm coming to get some. Okay, I'm coming to get some. I do want to share. Our family members are commenting. Diane said, our beloved, she shares, that's a great organization to help small business owners. Lord knows they need all the help they can get. It seems so difficult to cover all of the bases, not easy, and it's a lot of work. Another one of our love lights, Miss Lily, is checking in, and she shares good evening, and she shares some love with everybody. Eric, he shares, good evening, everyone, from the SCORE panel. Big welcome to the Word platform, to the WURD platform. I have recently thought of creating my own unique clothing brand. I'm currently in the birth stages of creating a .com website and with GoDaddy with adequate success. Any advice for new entrepreneurs in this industry?
Fashion?
Yes.
Marketing? Clothing? Are you interning? Who did you intern with?
Eric, Fatima is asking, with whom did you intern?
A lot of times we try and recreate the wheel. One thing that I like to get people started on is not trying to recreate the wheel. You don't need to. You can study everything that someone has done before you, every single solitary aspect. And that's why I joined SCORE, because it stands for the Senior Corps of Retired Engineers. So if you know about forward engineering, you know about reverse engineering. So if you're helping somebody in a process, you want to break it down to as many different particles as you can and help in the primary aspects of their business. That way they're able to quickly flourish and see results. So if you haven't taken the time to intern somewhere, because you didn't pop up on radio. So you had to sit there and, what do Italians call it? Making your bones. You're gonna have to go get the coffee. Go get that coffee. Go bring them supplies. Get that knowledge. That's the only time you really to get something for free. So when that is like my primary advice for you. If you haven't interned with somebody or dealt with somebody that's in that area, you need to be their best friend. You need to follow them around. You need to sit at home and make a list of questions for them every night.
And would you suggest several or just one?
Oh, no, definitely more than one. You always need to be in more than one aspect of your business. If you want to follow somebody around you want to intern with somebody that's in fashion, then you want to intern with somebody that's in marketing. And you always, listen, people, I'm going to put always on this. You always know your money. You always check your finances are first. You know what your basic overhead is for you to survive before you go out there and try and venture into another business and develop something. You can't, because you're going to be worried about whether or not you can take a shower. And I take nice, long, hot showers.
Well, you're not alone. You are not alone, okay? You are definitely not alone in that. Oh, my goodness. Fatima, family, heavens to Murgatroyd. If you have just joined us, welcome once again. You are tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD. We are talking with members of SCORE, representatives of SCORE, and some entrepreneurs who have benefited from the resources and services of SCORE. It's time for us to take just a short commercial break, but stay with us because we are definitely coming right back.
Word Radio Digital Tip of the Month is brought to you by Comcast.
What do you think happens to your digital footprint when you pass away? Who gets access to those social media accounts, your online bank, or that Netflix subscription after you're gone? There are a lot of things to consider right now about your digital afterlife. Will any photos be downloaded and saved? Would you want someone to take over your Facebook page? Do you have a hard drive where sensitive information is saved that someone might need to access? Some social media platforms allow you to designate what they call a legacy contact, but you should also consider the idea of a digital will. It works in a similar way to a regular will, but it will designate someone to be in charge of all your online accounts and provide them with login information and your instructions on how to manage those accounts after you're gone. It's not necessarily something we want to think about, but a little advanced planning for your digital afterlife can make things easier for the loved ones we leave here. Stay tuned to WURD for more tips and stay connected with us at wordradio.com.
I love this song. I love nachos.
Loving everything? You might be buzzed.
You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Stay connected on the go with the new and improved Word Radio app. Search Word Radio in your app store. Stream every show with increased clarity. Easily access Word TV, EcoWord, and Livelihood. Start or renew your 4-word membership and buy Word swag. Remember, Black Media Matters. Get the new and improved Word Radio app today. Available on Google Play and the Apple App Store. We're celebrating Black influence and Black excellence worldwide on the home of progressive Black talk media, WURD.
What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
I think I know what love is.
Well, hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. We are talking with members of SCORE. We are talking with some entrepreneurs who have benefited from the resources of SCORE. We were talking with Zarina Lomax, to be exact, owner of the Apologues, and she shared with us about the company and oh, hi, fur baby. She shared with us about the company, and what we didn't hear was from Andrea. Andrea didn't get to really share with us much about her company, so I'd love for you to do that if you wouldn't mind, since we have just a few minutes left. Give the fur baby some love from me, somebody.
Yes, love on them fur babies. I have one. I understand. Thank you so much for having me today. A's Aprons came as a dream. I took a class at Temple
Okay.
And I took a sewing class, and I was wondering, okay, God, what I'm gonna do with this gift? Had a dream of the apron, created the apron. My brother came in and said, "That's the best thing he's ever seen. I trust his value." And from there, things just kept happening for the business to become successful, especially through the guidance of SCORE and being able to talk to my mentor about so many things. Starting and running a business is a lot. You have the business, you have marketing, you have advertisement, you have your own personal self, your own life. Um, it's that balance. And with SCORE, it helps give me that balance. So I created the aprons. They are one of a kind, reversible aprons with 8 pockets, primarily out of kente cloth. And we are in currently 3 stores, looking to go into our 4th store very soon.
And
It's very exciting.
it
Very exciting.
sounds it. It really does sound like it. So this was something you said, you know what? I took this class. Let me see what I can do. And you started designing these aprons, and your brother said, "Okay, I just love this." And from
Yes.
there, the desire was born. The idea had been
Not
birthed.
only was the desire born, but things just started happening. 3 sewers came into my life and taught me how to sew. I had a friend out of the clear blue sky whisper in my ear in passing in the Red Terminal Market here in Philadelphia, if you ever know somebody that needs a manufacturer. Hence, a manufacturer was born.
Well,
4
wait,
years later.
we want to know where to purchase your aprons. So, in what 3 stores can we find your apron?
You can find them on my website,
Okay.
which is aisaprons.com.
Okay.
You can contact me through Instagram, Facebook, and Etsy. It's always best to contact me because they are one of a kind.
Okay.
It's constantly changing.
And
They're in 4 different lengths. There's 2 full bibs, a long and a short. Then there's the half apron, which is a long and a short. So you can contact me and say, I'm looking for a half short apron, and I'll send you everything that I have in a half short apron.
I love that. I
All
love that.
those are A's Aprons. A's Apron at Instagram. A's Aprons at Facebook.
Facebook,
Yes,
eggs,
everything is
Etsy.
A's Aprons.
Everything is A's aprons.
And now, with that being said, how do we find out more information about the Apple logs?
The what?
It's the epilogues.com, and I'm also Zarina Lomax on Facebook and Instagram. Instagram, I have a lot of following on there. It's my page. I do a lot of work with a lot of people that's known in the city. So if you type in Zarina Lomax, I'm going to pop up there. You can reach out to me and let me know if you lost a loved one, if you want to collaborate, if you want to donate. But the epilogues.com, you can make donations. But again, I will tell you to follow me on social media because we do quite a lot, and we have exhibitions and events and stuff coming up, so they will be able to follow me there.
Okay. I love it. So are there, now this question is for Miss Fatima, Miss Mary, and Mr. John. Are there courses that we can take? Are there events that we can attend if we have an interest? We don't yet know if we're ready to dive in. Like, is there anything that we could do with or at SCORE? John, you'll take that one. Thank you.
As I mentioned earlier, the best place to learn more is on the SCORE website, score.org. It'll ask you for your zip code, and when you put your zip code in, it'll take you to the Philadelphia page. There's a tab there for workshops, and we have about 3 workshops a week. There's a core group called Small Business Essentials, which actually starts with how to start a business and how to set up a business entity. But then it goes on to a business plan, marketing plans, financial projections. And each of those are probably an hour and a half long workshop. They're all free. They're live, but you can also find recorded versions on the website. If
That's what I was just about to ask. If they were all virtual. So they're all virtual?
They are all virtual now. We may from time to time have live workshops, but for the most part, we're doing all virtual. So, so I guess I just want to say a couple of things. One is, so if when you go on the website, you'll see that we're sponsored by the Small Business Administration, which is very important to SCORE. We have a small full-time staff in Washington that helps us with the website and some of the other mechanics of running. Everybody in Philadelphia is a volunteer, as I said. But I hope you and your listeners have heard that if you're in business today, you want to start a business today, there's probably something that SCORE can help you with. And the best way to start is to go on the website, sign up to get a mentor, and then with the mentor that they'll help you find other resources within SCORE to help you out. And then the other thing I was going to say is we can always use more volunteers and more mentors. So if you know somebody that that has even a couple hours a week and has experience in almost any aspect of business, but also likes to talk to people and help people, please go on the website. There's also a place to sign up as a volunteer. So that's score.org.
I love that. SCORE.org, family, for those of you who are listening and simply listening and not watching. You guys be on the lookout because you're going to hear me calling. I'm going to call. You're going to say, is that Carol? It sure is. Carol's going to call as well. I just can't thank all of you enough for coming to share your time, your energy, your attention, your space, your spirit, and everything you know with us, because like I shared earlier, it was so important for me. I said, okay, I need them to come and talk with the family about what it is that you all do, because I know you know how impactful you've been to some individuals that I personally know, and for you to have brought Zarina, both Zarina and Andrea, with you with amazing success stories. Oh, Andrea, did you tell us which 3 stores? About
Yes, no, I did not tell you the 3 stores. I am in the One Arts, the I&I store on 52nd Street.
Okay.
I am at Yarnie's on Baltimore Avenue and Yard Life in New Jersey.
Well, you heard it, family. You heard it right there. You heard it, family. Our family members are continuing to comment. Diane Facette shares, congratulations to all of you ladies on your unique businesses, and to Mr. Schuler and to SCORE. Malcolm shares, this was such a great segment. And Eric followed up to what you were sharing, Fatima. He shared, I've never interned. I believe I'm good at marketing and I'm very familiar with social media platforms and what they offer for exposure. However, I think I need more direction from experienced professionals in order to blossom. So to your point, he was agreeing with you. I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. But you all, I'm hoping that you all will come to visit with us again. Will you please? Will you please? I would so love to have you all join us again.
Absolutely.
Because, and now, Zarina, if we go on to the website, the Apologues, are we able to see, you know, follow where you will be, or would that be best to do so on social
there, it
media?
shows a lot of the stuff that I've done. I would say it's best to follow me on social media for this upcoming stuff, but on there, I will start doing that as well. We just put the website on there, so we put a lot of stuff that we've done. I do so much stuff. I go live on Thursdays with No Guns On and interview parents. We have stuff. It's so many different things. I don't know where to put it all. But if you follow me on my page, for sure, you'll always see that. But I do update the website with things that we have done, especially now that we're about to open up an a therapy center. So we'll be doing grief groups, one-on-one therapy, art therapy, sexual trauma, like so many different things. So we're opening that because eventually it's going to be a museum. I couldn't wait to open up the museum and the community center together. People need help now. So that's like up now. So I would definitely tell them to follow so they can come out and support that. Or if you need some sort of grief group now, I work with grief groups around the city. So it's not just for portraits. Please contact me because I work with a lot of therapy now.
Okay, Zarina, so we have to have you come back and talk with us more about everything too, since you've got 10 jobs. And this sounds like
I do. I would love to. Thank you. I do. I'm sorry.
No, but it's and to in all seriousness and all fairness, it sounds amazing. All of the work that you both are doing, and I so appreciate you both coming to share with us. It's just a pleasure and a privilege to have all of you in our space and with us, family. Whoo! Didn't I tell you? I told you it was going to be a great hour. If you have joined us, though, welcome, welcome, welcome. You are tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD. We've been talking with members of SCORE. If you have an interest in entrepreneurship, you can go to the website www.score.org. You tell them that John, Mary, Fatima, Zarina, and Andrea, and Carol sent you. That's what you tell them. That's what you say. Family, we're going to take a commercial break. But when we come back, it's all things sports. That's what we do on the second hour of Tuesday. So stay with us because we are coming right back.
It's the WURD Hot 60. Hot 60. Here's the hottest 60 seconds you missed this week on The Source.
Council member Kendra Brooks serves as an at-large minority leader in the Philadelphia City Council. Where did the whole idea of the Working Families Party come from, and how did you get involved in it?
Kind of fell into it. A lot of my organizing organizations that I was a part of here in Philadelphia are also connected to the movement around Working Families Party that was in New York and the Acorn movement around organizing. So they actually approached me. They said they were looking for someone to run for public office that was authentically who they are. And I was like, that's me, but I'm having no interest in politics. I'm happy with community organizing, traveling around the country, teaching restorative justice, and making sure families like mine or families not so like mine have the same opportunities that, other folks have.
And that's the hottest 60 seconds this week on The Source on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
The Arthur Ross Gallery at the University of Pennsylvania supports Word Radio and presents the exhibition Barbara Earl Thomas, The Illuminated Body, with 9 portraits that celebrate great Black cultural icons such as August Wilson, Seth Parker Woods, and Charles Johnson. In partnership with the exhibition, the Arthur Ross Gallery is proud to present Difficult Grace, a multimedia concert exploring identity, history, and personal growth with Grammy-nominated cellist Seth Parker Woods, Thursday, April 11th, 7 p.m. at Penn Live Arts. Visit ArthurRossGallery.org for more information.
It's the City Commissioners reminding you that voting is now more accessible and just as safe.
That's right. Voting by mail is easy, safe, and you can do it from the comfort of your own home or at one of our satellite election offices.
But hurry, the deadline to apply for a mail ballot is Tuesday, April 16th by 5 p.m. Don't miss out on this opportunity to shape our future. Visit vote.phila.gov for more information.
Most people out here think that taking care of one another is important. And most people would step up for a neighbor going through a tough time. Most people around here help out friends and family when they need it. But the funny thing is, most of us won't look for help when we need it. If you're struggling with mental health, you should know that there are resources out there that can help. And it's okay to talk about it if you need to. One place to get started with information is loveyourmindtoday.org. Loveyourmindtoday.org offers a range of guides, instructions, and insights for dealing with difficult situations or getting through a tough time. If you're struggling with mental health, get the help you need, because most people out here really care. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Let's face it, life looks a little different. During these times, we're doing our best to keep our minds and bodies strong. And getting a flu shot helps us stay healthy, so we don't miss out on what matters, like having game night at home. Yeah, can't do that while sick with the flu. Now imagine family movie night that your daughter can't live without. Well, that's ruined. And don't forget your uncle's socially distanced cookout. See, that's why it's important to be at our strongest. Every year, millions of people in the US get the flu. Especially now, no one has time to miss out on moments that matter. So get your flu shot. Find out more at getmyflushot.org. Brought to you by the AMA, CDC, and the Ad Council.
Remember the last time your family visited the forest? It's a place of wonder and imagination for the whole family, where stories come to life. And it's closer than you think. Ready to plan your next visit? Make the forest part of your story today at a local park near you, or find one at discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Tune in to Eco Word Magazine, hosted by POC, the first Friday at 10 a.m. for the PA Lottery Eco Word Fact of the Month. Brought to you by PA Lottery, benefiting older Pennsylvanians every day.
Want the latest in word swag? Check out the shop tab on wordradio.com. Hoodies, tees, and more in a variety of colors. It's the shop tab on wordradio.com. You can look good and show the world that you're all about Black Talk Media. Celebrating Black excellence worldwide and bringing joy and power to the people. This is WURD 900 AM and 96.1 FM, Philadelphia. Streaming online on wordradio.com and the Word Radio app.
Let me tell you something, and don't you ever forget it. Success is nothing without someone you love to share it with.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hey there, family. Welcome back. Welcome to the top of the second hour of Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. OMG, was that not an awesome first hour? I was sharing during the hour, I'd invited members of SCORE to come and talk with us about exactly what it is they do, because, I know several people, several individuals whom they've helped tremendously. And I said, family, there may be some of us, some of you that are right here in this room that are saying, I don't know what to do next. I want to start this business, or I need more information, or I just want to talk with somebody about this idea that I have to start a new business. And you might not know, the next step. So there you have it. Calling SCORE. Well, not calling. Well, you can call them too, but going to the website, absolutely, at score.org, just to get things started is a great start. How about that? There was something that I did not share with you that I didn't realize. Lord, if I don't get myself together. But in any event, the Melanin Market, Word Radio, Katika, and Youngest in Charge present the 7th Annual Melanin Market, the premier indoor festival celebrating Black-owned businesses globally. This year's event is set for April 13th at the Pennsylvania Convention Center at 1100 Arch Street. The doors open at 10 a.m. for a day packed with cultural celebration and empowerment. Highlights include a youth pitch contest at noon, a fashion showcase at 2 p.m., and an exhilarating hair lock battle at 4 p.m. Admission is free for children under 12, absolutely free for children under 12. How about that? Tickets are only $25 at the door, but you can save by purchasing online for just $15. Visit themelaninmarket.com to secure your tickets. Don't miss out. Be there and check out a special WURD live broadcast hosted by Dr. Aaron Smith, the rapping professor, from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. right here on WURD. I do see that, family, you're commenting I see some questions. My beloved, I love like Miss Roslyn. Happy belated birthday once again. It was yesterday and we found out late. But she asks, is there a fee for them to counsel you to become an entrepreneur? No, there is no fee. There is no fee. There is no fee. So and that's the beauty of it. You know, that's the best thing about it. You can go to them and have a conversation, or you can attend one of the virtual what do you have it, they have the like John was sharing that they have some tutorials that you can attend virtually. You can sign up for and attend virtually. It really is awesome. It really, really is awesome. And you know, I tell you, I love us and I believe us to be extraordinary. So I know that some of you are watching or listening right now with an idea that you need to make come to fruition. Eric, I'm talking to you. Get that clothing line out. Get it out. Get it out. Get it out. You hear me? You hear me? You hear me? Go to score.org and get you a mentor so that they can help you along the steps. Take the proper steps. Okay? That's what I want you to do. That's what I want you to do. So, family, you know what we do on Tuesdays. On Tuesdays, we talk with our sports guru, Chris Murray, and tonight is no different. Chris shared that he's running. You know, he was running last week because he is the busiest man in sports. Yes, he is. But we love him so much for that. So I'm going to share some things with you in the meantime until he joins us. I don't know if you saw this article. There was a missing woman, a missing Philadelphia mom, but she was found safe. The article reads, a missing Philadelphia woman has been found safe. Her family says Adrienne Bryant Hip, 50, was last seen on March 30th, 2024. Her daughter told police that her mother left their home on the 2200 block of North Broad Street around 4:30 p.m. that day to go to a deli on 2100 North Broad Street. On Tuesday morning, Hip's family members confirmed she was found safe. Praise God for that. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Because, you know, with so much going on right now, thank you, God. Thank you, God. I don't know if you've been paying attention to Rite Aid. They said they were going to shut down some of their locations. Well, they're going to close some more in the Philadelphia area in the next month. I don't know if you saw that in the news, but yeah, they're going to close some more down within the next month. This is another round of Rite Aid closures, so we have that to look forward to. The two other Pennsylvania stores are 104 East 3rd Street in Bethlehem and 10 South Center Street in Pottsville. They're going to close their doors. I don't know if that's close to you, but I like Rite Aid. I do like Rite Aid. I do. There was here's a feel good story that I saw. It just made me feel so good. The story reads, Mr. Chuck Day, Delco School surprises beloved custodian to thank him for his hard work. A beloved staff member at a Delaware County school was celebrated by the community on Tuesday. Chuck Smith has been a custodian at St. Anastasia School in Newtown Square for over 10 years, and officials say he is a very important part of the team. Students at the school lovingly call him Mr. Chuck, and they name him as one of the reasons why they think their school is a special place. I think that's so awesome. We used to have Mr. John at our school. I still remember Mr. John. Mr. John was such a help to all of us, all of the kids, but you know, I'm sure to the staff as well, but he was such a help to us in grade school, such a help. So that made me feel good to share because, you know, all the stories that you see nowadays aren't always good stories. I was asking you all yesterday what you were doing for the eclipse. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't have the desire to see it. I didn't want to see it. I didn't. So I'm curious to know, where were you? And if you too did not have the desire to see it, did you see it? Did you see it? Did you see it? And what did you think? What did you think if you saw it? Nick, did you see the eclipse yesterday?
No, I was
I
driving
was
to
about
work.
I was about to say that sounds like a no. If you can't even remember.
I was thinking to myself. I thought, no, I was too busy. I was driving around all the people who were in their cars trying to look at it.
Oh.
And I was like, why are all these people looking up at the? And I'm like, oh yeah, this is an eclipse, of course.
Yes, yes. There were so many people that I actually know that were, I mean, they were planning. Like,
Mhm.
I'm going to go here. I'm going to be here. I'm going to do this. I've got to see the eclipse. I did not have that desire at all. Like,
You
I
know what it
didn't
might
even.
be? It's. I mean, we're having an eclipse here. I think that when that one happened, that was around 3 o'clock, 3:20, right?
I don't even know.
Yeah, I think it's because it's like bright and early in the day. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if it was happening, I don't know. I don't know. Me personally, I was like, hey, I gotta get to work. I wasn't too worried about
Listen,
that eclipse, but I saw the people who were camping out in the parks and stuff, and folks came out with telescopes. Their dogs were looking through them. It was a lot. There's a lot
did
going on.
they? There was so much. I didn't know all of that, but there was so much. There was so much. I tell you the one thing though, it felt good to see so many people excited about the same thing, like a good, something harmless. Well, I can't even say harmless because I don't even know if the eclipse is harmless watching it. But in any event, it just felt good to just see and hear so many people just excited about seeing it. But I didn't have that desire. I just I didn't. I didn't. But I mean, I do appreciate, it's a part of our history and I'm here to live it. So I do appreciate that. Our beloved Miss Rosalind, she shares me neither, Carol. She didn't waste the time, but history is history. It's like the earthquake that came and left. Oh my goodness. She shares, thank God, whatever we're able to experience, good or bad. Um, thank God for those experiences. Y'all, I told you the earthquake too. I was out walking, Chloe. Chloe and I were walking. I felt nothing. I did not know. I said, maybe I just vibrate highly. I don't know. But I didn't feel anything. I said, I just missed everything. What's happening? Malcolm shares he barely noticed the eclipse. It was cloudy on his street and it got a little darker. I did notice that it got a little darker. It looked cloudy. I thought it was going to rain. That was my thought. I thought that it was about to rain and that was it. And then the sun came back out and I said, "Oh, well maybe that was the eclipse." So that was the height of it for me. That was it. I you know, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, one other thing I want to share with you. I've been telling you how I'm going to go back to that conversation, but we were saying the other day, I was saying there's so little for our kids to do. Well, in Philadelphia, officials announced summer programs and activities for city's youth. The article reads, the warm spring weather is certainly making us think of summer, and on the agenda this season, the city of Philadelphia is packing in the activities and programs for young people to keep youth out of trouble and out of harm's way. It made me feel good to read that. When they're unsupervised and unengaged, idle minds can lead to things that we don't want our young people to be engaged in, said Philadelphia Mayor Sherelle Parker, marking her 100th day in office. So here you have it. We do have some programs for our babies to look forward to. I know there are some programs that take place in the summer, but it's good to know that it's on the minds and on the hearts and in the spirits of our city council people, and that they are planning more, for our babies to do, since there's so much, they've been getting into trouble, just so much. And so going back to the earthquake, the eclipse, and Mercury being in retrograde, or Mercury retrograde. I don't even know. A friend of mine was trying to tell me, yeah, that's why everything is crazy right now because of this. Well, all I'm doing, y'all, is praying through it, because I did share with you. I said, I feel like I'm so off my block. And you've been with me these past 2 days, so you know that I am. I haven't quite gotten back to 100 yet, but I'm coming. In any event, like I shared, I just wanted to share a few things with you before Chris got into the room because, he is the busiest man in sports. Yes, he is. He's our guru, he's our oracle for those of you who are unfamiliar. But he's also a radio show host, he's a journalist, and a college professor with more than 30 years of experience as a print and broadcast journalist. Um, he comes here on Tuesdays, and we so love him for doing so. And I'm going to stop talking so we can bring him into the room, quite honestly, and have this good conversation that we've been waiting to have. So, welcome to the conversation with none other than Chris Murray.
How y'all doing today? How you doing, man? I just flew in, got back in from the train station, so I'm back home.
Oh my goodness!
I'm in the confines of my home studio, such as it is, and
we love it.
And man, I guess we got a lot to talk about. In the last couple of days, women's basketball, Dawn Staley. Matter of fact, I was on a train trying to construct I'm working on a column for the Philadelphia Sunday Sun this week on Dawn Staley,
nice.
Yeah, and so from that point of view, I'm I'm also grading papers, so it's just been one of those days. But there's so much to unpack with this. First of all, let us give our tribute to Dawn Staley. A lot of people don't really realize what she pulled off because, and I'm gonna give it some perspective a little bit. Not only were they unbeaten, they had an unbeaten season, but she did this with some freshmen and one really solid senior center, and Camila Cardoza, and she really and the defense they put on Caitlin Clark was tremendous because Caitlin Clark is one of the best players in the country. But I also wanted to address that because there's a lot of people who are kind of hating on Caitlin Clark, and I want to address that from a lot of areas. But I want to just talk about Dawn first because Dawn has been a winner since she was playing on the playgrounds against Hank Gathers and Bo Kimball and all the guys that played in North Philadelphia back in the day. And I'm sure people will surely note that there's a lot of people who will probably call this show who remembers the days when Dawn Staley was playing basketball. And one of her mantras is when she's trying to get her players to be tough, is that she has her team play a practice against the guys. And she's done it. She did it when she was at Temple, and she does it at South Carolina. And what they did, she had a bunch of freshmen, and she couldn't really get on because nowadays you don't really get on kids as much as you'd like to. She had a bunch of freshmen. She had last year she graduated. The team that lost to Iowa in the national semifinal. They were 36. They came into that national semifinal last year unbeaten, but they lost to Caitlin Clark and them. And Caitlin Clark, give her credit. She played her butt off, and they beat them. This year, if you saw the emotional response that she had when she was interviewing with Holly Rowe, it says it all. She had a bunch of freshmen, and like I said, some freshmen, the freshmen that the sophomores she had were relatively inexperienced. She had a transfer in from Syracuse in Cardoza, and trying to figure out how, because it's hard to get a team to gel together. You look at John Calipari at Kentucky. Every year he tries to get freshmen to come together before he left to go to Arkansas. But he tried to get every year he tries to get a bunch of freshmen to buy in and play together. And as a result, he always gets the one and dones. And he's only won one national championship, and he's went to the Final Four 4 times in the span of 15 years. Steve Fisher at the University of Michigan coached the Fab Five, the famous Fab Five, to a Final Four and to the championship game in '92 and lost to Duke And
Mm-hmm.
you know, and when I'm saying that what Dawn did as a coach, and any whether you talk about men or women, is nothing short of remarkable. It's remarkable in a sense that it is hard, and especially in this day and age, to get teams that have never really played together before and whatnot to get the buy-in and whatnot to win and to go unbeaten. To go unbeaten and win a national championship, that's incredible. And that is something that, you know, that I think Dawn has done so much for women's basketball and basketball at Temple. When I covered her working for the Philadelphia Tribune, I mean, Dawn, you know, she wasn't getting the kind of athletes to come to Temple, but Temple still won. And she developed a player named Candace Dupree into a WNBA, you know, draft pick. And so, and a couple of, and matter of fact, one of her players is actually playing for the Harlem Globetrotters, one of her Temple players. But a lot of her players graduate, they get their degrees, and Dawn won a bunch of Atlantic 10 titles, plus the fact she had the pleasure of, well, she was coaching on, you know, she had the mentorship of John Chaney. And so, you know, and oftentimes she has scrimmaged and practiced against some of his teams and whatnot. So, you know, the pedigree that she's around in terms of Philadelphia basketball, in terms of, you know, turning kids, you know, trying to make these kids tougher because, you know, sports is a hard, you know, there's a certain level of toughness you have to have. And in any type of entertainment, any type of, you know, between, you know, what we do, what you and I do on the radio, and in your case, as a marvelous singer that you are, and everything. And so, from that standpoint, you know, these are tough. We're in tough. Media is tough. You got to have a certain level of toughness to be in this whole thing. And so, you know, in basketball, you really have to be tough. And that's why it's remarkable to pull off an unbeaten season the way she did. I mean, Gino Auriemma at the University of Connecticut, he always has players coming in, top-notch players. And not to say that these girls weren't top-notch players, but sometimes even when you have top-notch players, it is hard for them to play together.
Agree. Wait, Chris, I want to pause for one moment because we've got to go to commercial break, but you're absolutely right about everything you said. You're absolutely right. As you know, family, listen, we're going to take just a short commercial break, but we're coming right back. So stay with us.
WURD is happy to provide our listeners with the opportunity to participate in contests and win prizes. This is a reminder of our contest rules. All participants must be 18 years of age or older, depending on the contest. Persons may win only one prize from the radio station per contest for every 30-day period. Some contests might also specify one winner per household or company. Prizes must be claimed within 14 days or by 12 noon the day before the event, whichever is sooner, and must be accepted as is or forfeited. The radio station employees and their immediate relatives, sponsor employees and their immediate relatives, live remote sponsor employees and their immediate relatives, and any other media employees are ineligible to win the prize. Thank you for participating and for listening to WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Step into a world of rejuvenation and discovery. Join us at the Philadelphia Senior Expo at the Pennsylvania Convention Center on April 11th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Get your free ticket on Eventbrite by searching Philadelphia Senior Expo. Embrace the blooming season with a day tailored exclusively for our cherished seniors. Celebrate the day with vibrant activities, exercise routine, dancing, giveaways, and health discussions with medical doctors. Don't miss out. Get your free ticket on Eventbrite.
Hi, this is Chick Corea, and did you know that April is Jazz Appreciation Month? It's what we have as Americans to export as a freedom of expression. I think it really supports our Declaration of Independence. It's freedom to create what you like and freedom to think. This is what I like to get behind. So since it's Jazz Appreciation Month, go to a jazz club, put on a record, listen to some Coltrane, listen to some Miles, some Louis Armstrong, Duke Ellington. We have such a great heritage here. Just enjoy it. This is jazz. It's made in America.
EcoFest is back. Save the date for the 2024 EcoFest Earth Day celebration, Creating Black Green Futures, Saturday, April 20th from 1 p.m. until 5 p.m. at the historic Belmont Mansion in beautiful Fairmount Park. This festival-style celebration will feature panel conversations with leading environmentalists, music, workshops, vendors, and much more. Stay tuned to WURD for more exciting details. Remember, Saturday, April 20th at the historic Belmont Mansion. This year's EcoFest Earth Day celebration is brought to you by Keystone First, the Pennsylvania Lottery, Comcast, and PICO.
Long nose, what's the word, boy? What's the word? What's the word?
WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
And we are back. Welcome back to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD. We are talking with Chris Murray in this hour because that's what we do on Tuesdays in the 8 o'clock hour. And we're talking about good stuff. Chris, before the commercial break, you were talking with us about the incredibly talented and amazing Dawn Staley and about her illustrious career thus far. I agree with everything you said about her wholeheartedly. You know, she's having an extraordinary journey in sports.
Mm-hmm. She is, she's up in the pantheon of great coaches, Pat Summitt, Gino Auriemma, and people like that, because she's won 3 national championships in 7 years, unbeaten. I mean, her teams are really good.
Mm-hmm.
And but even when she was at Temple, she kind of talked about it was kind of frustrating, I think, for her. I don't think she'll ever say that publicly, but I think she was trying. It was hard for her to get people to come to Temple, but she went to the SEC, and a lot of people. I don't know if Temple had all the resources, but she managed to win. I mean, they were in the NCAA tournament. I got the chance, the NCAA tournament games that I could travel to and whatnot. Mm-hmm. I covered their last appearance in 2008. 2008 before she left in her last year. And I remember it was like this big gala they had at the bowling alley up on 3rd Street. But I mean, it was like that kind of night that it's up on 3rd in what do they call that? Northern Liberties. It's a little upscale place, and she's very humble. Yeah, and she was very humble. She always talked about her kids. Always enjoyed talking to her and all that. She's thanked everybody in Philly. People who covered her and all that. During the time, and she was just. I mean, she knows how to get the most out of a program. I mean, every Temple was always winning the Atlantic 10 tournament when she was coaching there. She just she got an opportunity to go somewhere big. Well, and South Carolina really wasn't that big, but she knows South Carolina wasn't that big in women's basketball. That conference at the Southeastern Conference was once owned by Pat Summitt. Pat Summitt pretty much ran roughshod over the SEC before she passed away. She's won great companies. And now she's won more. Now she's won 3 national championships, and she's one of the few coaches that's won, 3 national championships. So she has done a lot. But in the course of covering this, like I said, there was a girl, Camila Cardoso, who's she's from Brazil. And in the game itself on Sunday, it was great defensive strategy. They had to slow down Caitlin Clark because Caitlin Clark was just, was shooting everybody down. I think Gino Auriemma, UConn had a good idea of how to stop her early in the first half, but their players got in foul trouble in that game. But they really slowed down Caitlin Clark in a way that was kind of reminiscent of Michigan State, kind of slowing down Larry Bird. And, it was good coaching on her part, and give Caitlin Clark her due because she's been a great player. But I want to talk about that, though, because on social media, I made a post congratulating Dawn, but I said, Caitlin Clark and along with Angel Reese both had outstanding careers, and you got to give them credit for it. And one person that got on my thread said, "Oh, well, by mentioning Caitlin Clark in the same, in the same thread, that somehow I wasn't centered on blackness or something like that." And my thing was, part of that, and part of how people react to Caitlin Clark. There's a lot. I hate to say, there's a lot of haterade on Caitlin Clark. There's a lot of haterade within our community, and the weird part about it, I understand it on one level, because in this whole thing between her and Angel Reese, she's, the media gins up the fact that she's the white girl, and the white girl is always the good guy, and then the black girl, Angel Reese is the villain and all this other stuff. And I guess she embraced it, but I think that sometimes people, Emmanuel Acho's comments about her, and all that. I mean, a lot of that comes from a lot of times Black women in this society. Black women are vilified, and Black men too, but in sports. But Black athletes are always invariably, even when Magic was playing against Bird. I remember in one of the high schools I attended in Baltimore, I heard some of the white teachers talking about, Larry Bird is not. And when you, over the years, you watch enough sports, you watch sports like I do, and you hear the thing. Oh, Larry Bird is just a heady ball player. He's just a hardworking, blue collar, heavy, working ball player. And you hear that, and I'm sure they said the same thing about Caitlin Clark. And it doesn't. I'm not going to take anything away from her talent. She's great. She had a great college career. Reminded me of Larry Bird and Bill Walton on the men's side. That's how great a player. And to her credit, then people say, well, she's not great because she didn't have the ring. But here's the thing: she's beaten the last two national championships. The last two national champions, LSU in the regional final this year, and South Carolina in the national semifinal last year. She just beat them and one in the semifinals and one in the Elite Eight. So, you got to give credit, but I understand the vitriol. I probably understand it more because over the years, Black athletes are always going back to Jack Johnson. Black athletes are always the bad guy when it comes, I think about Larry Holmes versus Jerry Cooney. It's always the bad guy, and the case because even, and then when Caitlin Clark did her little John Cena thing in the game, she was seen as an intense competitor. And this is not her fault, but this is somehow she's an intense competitor. And then when Angel Reese does it, she gets blasted by people like Keith Olbermann and people like that. That's always the situation. It's like Black, it's like for some reason we can't show our youthful exuberance. We can't just have that swag without somebody. It reminds me of the scene in the season before last when Chris Rock was in Fargo, and these all guys were criminals, and one of the white criminals said, "Well, see, here's the issue. See, a lot of white criminals like John Dillinger and bank robbers, Bonnie and Clyde, they'll be folk heroes. But when you guys commit crimes, they'll always see you as criminals." And I'm paraphrasing this, but anybody who saw that series and whatnot, but that's the thing. That's always the thing, is that when there's always this sort of and sometimes it's so subtle, it's so ingrained that I think even well-meaning people see it as that. And so, and when I talked about it, I says, when I look at it from a pure basketball standpoint, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, really did a lot to uplift the women's back. And even Dawn
They really
Staley
do.
acknowledged that Caitlin Clark helped uplift the game. But a lot of times, there are a lot of Black people. I have some friends of mine were saying, well, how is she the GOAT? How is she? But, the numbers are there.
They don't lie. Yeah, they don't lie.
They don't lie. And you got to acknowledge it. But I understand for a lot of Black people, and a lot of times you try to explain that to white people. It's hard to explain that to white people. But a lot of it is, and all of us who watch sports, everybody who's listening to this show, and they watch sports, you've heard all the little subtleties and, now I know a lot of people didn't like Donovan McNabb, but Donovan McNabb could read defenses, was an intelligent quarterback. He just didn't win a championship. And, I remember I'm at a Philly Sports Hall of Fame banquet, and I'm sitting in the room. Somehow I ended up in the room with these white guys. We were just kind of sitting around. And some white guy tried to explain to me, because when you tell people you're a sports writer, everybody gets excited that you cover sports.
I mean, why wouldn't they?
Yeah. So it's, well, what, Donovan McNabb just can't read defenses. And I said, time out. No, that's not true. That is not true. You don't play in Andy Reid's system without being a quarterback that can read deep. But that's that stereotype, that the idea, and this is where when we talk about white supremacy, when we talk about these things, it's not so much that people are prejudiced, but it's just so woven in. Even black people buy into that idea.
But like you said, it's because it's been force fed. When something has been force fed, you've been brainwashed. You've been brainwashed.
Right.
I want to take a call for one moment. One of our family members is on the line. James, are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here. Good evening to the both of you.
Good evening.
I'm going to rewind a little bit back to the eclipse. Looking at the media, and I didn't know it was an earthquake. I wasn't paying attention to the eclipse. But looking at the media, different experiences, as far as all of a sudden it turns dark. You're hearing different animals. The ecosystem just changed. Had to been a heck of an experience. And I remember at one time, I heard complete silence. I was living over there by the regional rail, and everything just went quiet. I mean, you couldn't hear nothing. I asked a couple of people, and they experienced the same thing. Well, anyway, fast forward to the WNBA. Who was the first female to dunk? That's a question I've been asking myself.
I want to say it was Lynette Woodard or something. I'm probably wrong. I know that that Brittany Griner has dunked, but I want to say it was. I want to say that I might be wrong. And whatnot.
Well, I'm reading this. The first women's college basketball player to dunk in a game was Georgianne Wells, West Virginia center. She was West Virginia center.
Right. Okay. I would love to see more. I would love to see more of the action. I want to see some highlights. Well, I love you all, and y'all have a good evening, and I'll call later on.
We love you more, James. Thank you so much for contributing to the conversation. Malcolm shares, remember the media pitted Ali and Frazier against each other because Ali was a Muslim. Yeah, I remember that.
I remember
and then
that
he shares
too.
Jack Johnson and Jim Jeffries. It was just, Eric shares, it's very difficult to smile, take the hits, take the criticism, and keep a straight face. It's expected and accepted from men. But when women do it, especially Black women, she's grandstanding and she's not a team player.
See, and that's part of the reason why I think there is backlash against Caitlin Clark. And through no fault of Caitlin Clark, but the pain of that. One of my white colleagues from the Delaware County Daily Times wrote an article says that how is Caitlin Clark, offensive. And now next time I see him, I want to break it down for him that, that everybody likes to paint Caitlin Clark as the great white hope instead of looking at her as a basketball player. She's a great player. And the thing about it, but this is what racism in this country does. I mean, a lot of times you just want to. One of my favorite players growing up was the great Johnny Unitas out of Baltimore. Lithuanian Catholic from Pittsburgh, PA. Okay, and he was like any kid who grew up in Baltimore in my day. That was your hero, Brooks Robinson for the Orioles. He was one, and it didn't matter. Frank Robinson. It didn't matter if you were black or white. You just like good ball players. But I think racism, the pervasiveness of racism in American society, pervasiveness of racism makes it so that, it leads all of us to like, okay, well, if it comes down to the great white hope and the black person, where a lot of my people on my Facebook page, well, I'm rooting for all the black people. That is what it does. And it gets it to the point to where someone questioned my blackness on Facebook. And I ain't gonna lie, I got incensed by that, given all the stuff I've been through in the world and all that, and given all the things that I've seen in sports. I mean, people get mad at me for sometimes defending Jalen Hurts and whatnot. I understand. Yeah, because I don't know, because it's just that everybody last year said he regressed. He struggled. He threw double-digit interceptions, which was true. He threw double-digit interceptions. Yeah, and
he did. Go ahead. Look at me. I'm getting okay. Go ahead. Actually, you know what? We're going to put a pin in it because it's time to take a commercial break. Look at me. I'm all flustered and frustrated. Family.
I'm sorry, my bad.
No. What is wrong? Why are people? And in the event, family, look, we're going to take a commercial break, but stay with us because we are coming right back.
Well, it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Get ready for our annual Jackie Robinson Day, celebrating the life and legacy of number 42, the first Black athlete to break the color barrier in Major League Baseball. Join Word Radio on Monday, April 15th from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. at the Browns Family ShopRite, 52nd and Parkside, for a special live broadcast hosted by Chris Murray and Tanya Pendleton. The celebration will feature conversations about Jackie Robinson's accomplishments and impact as an athlete and life as a civil rights activist. There will be food, prizes, and much, much more. Be there on Monday, April 15th to celebrate the life of the great Jackie Robinson. Brought to you by Comcast, the Pennsylvania Lottery, Keystone First, Pico, Hers Snack Foods, and Dietz & Watson.
In your journey back to work, we understand the barriers you may face. We have a solution to bridge that gap. No matter your background, PA CareerLink staff are here to provide personalized assistance and help you thrive. Take the first step towards a new chapter in your career journey with PA CareerLink. Visit pacareerlink.pa.gov or your local PA CareerLink office today. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Tune into Word Radio this Thursday at 10 a.m. for City Council Live, hosted by Ernest Owens. Join conversations that matter to your community with your local City Council members.
Let's breathe. Deep inhale. Extend your spine. Exhale very slowly. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. This message is brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Stand with Word Radio as we continue to provide dynamic, progressive programming to inform and empower our people. We're living in unprecedented times, and we must stand together to protect and preserve Black Talk Media. Become a 4Word member with the annual membership price of just $90 or a digital member starting at just $5 per month. If you're already a 4Word member, sign up, family member, or a friend to help us continue making history. Start or renew your 4Word membership today. Visit wordradio.com/4word or wordradio.com/membership.
It's too black, which means it's too strong.
We're celebrating Black influence and Black excellence worldwide on the home of progressive Black Talk Media, WURD. You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD. We are talking with our sports oracle, Chris Murray. And before the break, he shared that somebody came for him because he was defending Jalen Hurts. Come on now. Share with us.
Well, because I think what it is, Jalen Hurts was struggling a little bit, but he was winning games last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just pointing that out to people. But sometimes I just think that when black quarterbacks struggle, a black quarterback, I'm not saying that you should, as a journalist, you got to point out when people are, if a guy's throwing 13 or 14 interceptions, though you got to say that. But then again, I see Josh Allen and other guys. Josh Allen threw the most interceptions in football, but he's celebrated as this gunslinger. It's always he's this. Oh, he likes to take chances. He really works hard to win, and he tries. It's always this sort of double standard, and I think when people because I see on social media people are upset that wow, Dawn Staley won all these games and everybody's talking about Caitlin Clark. And the thing about it is that you got to talk about, if you're going to talk about women's college basketball, you got to talk about it all. Angel Reese.
Yes.
You got to talk about that Gino Auriemma took a team where he lost half of his starters and they got to the Final Four. So you really have to, all those things are all encompassing. I think that we can definitely celebrate a Dawn Staley, and Philadelphia has a lot to celebrate with Dawn Staley for all the things that she's done. She was a great high school player, a great college player, a great coach, and she does everything. And
her entire journey. That's what I was saying. Her entire journey has been
successful.
Yes.
She has been very, very successful. And as a matter of fact, on that weekend, my Facebook page, I had one, immediately after the game, Dawn Staley has pulled off another national championship and this, that, and the other. And she's just been all the time. And then I talked about, Dawn Staley is a great coach. Look at what she's done. But, I do look at what Caitlin Clark did, because the battles with Angel Reese the last couple of years, they've been going at it. And she's been a great player. You got to give her that. I understand the residual politics that come out of that, because I do think that somehow black women really get the low end of the deal, on a lot of issues. Black women are vilified, sometimes vilified by black men and whatnot.
So true.
And that's a situation. Maybe, and the thing about it with Dawn Staley, when she was coaching at Temple, a lot of times she had fans there, when she was coaching there. But a lot of people didn't come out to see women's basketball. Not a lot of people in the community. I mean, people in the community came out and knew her. People around Temple students. But it wasn't like the Leah Core Center was always packed as it was when John Chaney was coaching the team and whatnot. And see, that's the thing, because there are a lot of people, because like I said, Dawn Staley has done a lot, but I mean, we've had a regional final. We had a regional final at played at the Leah Core Center, and I think a lot of people that was kind of, there was a lot of people sold out. But that's the thing, because that was when God, I can't think of her name. Went to Tennessee. Was really good there. She was there, and that was when C. Vivian Stringer was coaching Rutgers, and Rutgers got to the regional final and played Tennessee. And it was a good game. Of course, Rutgers lost that game. And that's another coach, C. Vivian Stringer. It's another, you have all these great, these great coaches. But a lot of times when you talk about Caitlin Clark with Dawn Staley, it's like, people say that your blackness is not centered or something like that. And you got to kind of, there's a nuance to these conversations. If you want to talk about how the media, because I think that the media, creates these narratives, and a lot of times, it's really not about that, but those are juicy narratives and whatnot. And the country is at the most polarized that I've ever seen it in my lifetime, and so that spills in to what should be a conversation about sports. And I would say now, for me personally, and like I said, we've come up in this game. I experienced on a personal level playing youth sports when I remember we were scrimmaging at my team. I was in Catonsville, Maryland, and we were scrimmaging a team, and I put on this vicious hit on this kid and whatnot. About I was playing football, and what happened was my middle linebacker hit him low. And I kind of went into it I went into his chest with my shoulder, and he flew back up, and he was on the ground crying. I was like, yeah, that's a great hit. And then one of the white kids, I was the only black kid on the team. One of the white kids, you see how Chris hit that, and the whole team had to like, don't say, and I felt, and then after I hit him, it was just like, dang, I feel bad about that, because you don't have to bring that in. You have to bring that into the conversation. You don't. It was a great football play. It was a great basketball play. I mean, Larry Bird was a great player. You had to give it to him, and he was a great player in college.
Let me find out. Wait. Let me find out. You around here hurting people on the field. You around here. Let us find out.
It was very rare. It was a scrimmage. It was a scrimmage in practice. We were practicing. I mean, I probably got laid out more than anything else. I probably got laid out, but I'm just saying that the one time I get a good, because in them days, one time I get a good shot on somebody. The one time I do it, it's another brother, and somebody says, he hit that knee.
You look at you over here stirring up strife, hate, and discontent. Look at you.
So,
oh my goodness,
I don't know. I mean, and I mentioned that, like I said, I'm not mentioning that. I mean, my athletic career was, if you blink, you miss my athletic career. If you blink, and that's fine, and I get that, but the one, but you see that, that's been sometimes, when you play sports, you run across that, and the thing about it. We love sports for the purity of loving sports and whatnot.
Right. I must say, Chris, you are so comical to me. Oh my goodness. And look, our beloved Rosalind, she agrees. She said, you are funny, Chris. You are funny. You made my day. She said, you made her day. You made mine too. I'm just imagining you now on the field. And the look on your face just now when you were reliving that moment. So you were serious. You were in it. You were all the way in. Okay,
And
you
then
were
when
all
the
the
guy said
way
that,
in.
I went from here. I was like, dang, man. I mean, it was just like,
You
well,
were
I
all
can't
the
say
way.
it.
No,
It was all, I was just like, it was just like, man, why he had this? I mean, it just dimmed the
Oh
mood.
my goodness. Oh, wait, I do want to share, family. I do see Ms. Viola. I saw that you checked in. Joey Dixon checked in. I did see some names popping as we were talking. Henry Purifoy. I'm so sorry that I missed mentioning earlier that our love lights were checking in. But so Joanne Dorman, I see you, beautiful. I so see you. I see you. But it is that time. It is that time. Here we are. Chris, thank you so much. Planes, trains, and automobiles, but you make your way to us. And I'm going to say on behalf of the family that we are so grateful to you for doing so, because we appreciate you and we love when you come to visit. We really, really do. So thank you. Thank you so much.
I love this show. I thank you too, but I love this show. I love this show so much. And I'm going to listen on days when I'm not on the show. Just, because I want to hear all the lovelorn confessions and all this other stuff. I'm just
Get. Oh my goodness, family, you know what we do. Praise God. Just praising God from whom all blessings flow. I'm going to ask you, as I've been doing, that you pray for someone who does not yet know God. Pray for your loved ones, pray for your enemies, and simply for those who are in need. I thank you as you continue to support Love and Life. I thank our guests, each and every one of them, for sharing time, energy, attention, space, spirit, and knowledge. As always, thank you to you for doing the same. Thank you to everybody that contributed tonight. Special thanks to the entire Word family, especially Niall and Nick, for all that you do. Yes, yes, yes. Happy birthday once again to all of our love lights who are celebrating. Family, you already know. I'm going to say it. Remember that we're all in this together. So please be good to you, but be good to those around you. I love you, but God loves you so much more. Please be careful as you go to and fro. Have a great rest of your night, and be sure to join me Monday through Thursday, 7 till 9 p.m. for another edition of Love and Life right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. Have a good night, family.